Oh, howdy all, grab yourself a drink, it is time for some Path of Exile discussion. GGD made an announcement today where they talked about the future of the Sentinel mechanic. The post goes as follows. With the Sentinel League ending soon, you may be wondering whether this mechanic becomes part of Path of Exile's core game. The answer is no for now. The League would take some changes before it would be appropriate to become a core Path of Exile mechanic. And while this is something we're interested in looking into in the future, it's not the time now. When the Sentinel League ends in a few weeks, all your existing power cores and Sentinels will be deleted. Now, I want to draw your attention to when they last did a post like this, and this was for Scourge. With Scourge, the answer to the question of will Scourge become a core Path of Exile mechanic was, the short answer is no. We don't have any current plans to bring Scourge back. It may still return sometime in the future, but we can't give any indications for when that might be or what Scourge might look like as core game content. So you can see it's much more definitive when they're talking about Scourge. With Sentinel, they're leaving the door somewhat open, but they're also making clear that 3.19 will not have Sentinels and will not have Recombinators. The next part goes and talks about Recombinators. So in short, Recombinators are going to become legacy items. This means they'll continue to exist in Standard, they'll continue to work in Standard like you used to, just like Eternal Orbs, original generation Harvest crafts. So Recombinators won't drop anymore, existing ones will continue to work in Standard and will become progressively more scarce as they're consumed. Now, this is going to have a big impact on the rest of the league. We'll get to that in a second. We know that you really enjoyed the crafting options provided by Recombinators, and we're looking for a way to bring them back in the future. Even when we do so, existing Recombinators will likely change their function to work however the new ones function. We'll signal this in the news beforehand so you can make sure to consume existing ones if you prefer how they used to work. So ultimately, they're saying here that at some point in the future, they are looking to bring back Recombinators in a nerf form. You'll have some notice of your ability to use them in Standard. In the meantime, you still have some time to complete your unfinished challenges in the League before we say goodbye to the Sentinels. So let's talk about what this is going to mean for those of you that don't care about Standard and that are going to continue playing this League. What's going to happen is that Sentinel prices are going to start to fall because we've now got confirmation that there's no point hoarding them. You may as well just use them up. Also, a lot of the rewards that come from the better Sentinels will probably go down in price as a result. The exception, though, will be the Recombinators. So Sentinels with Sentinel rewards and Recombinators. These things are going to get much more expensive. It's not that there's a very large number of people that play temporary leagues in order to advance their standard characters, but there are enough of them. And there'll be players who are now looking to pick up every Recombinator that they can in order to take them back to Standard with them and sit on them for a little while or potentially use them in massive multiple mirror crafts. Additionally, there'll be a number of players who aren't really all that fussed about playing in Standard and progressing their characters there, but they just want to own things like a Squire, a Mageblood, a Headhunter, a Stasis Prison and the like in order to test out whether they want to try and chase these down in a temporary league. So those players may well be stockpiling Recombinators this league with the last of their currency as well, with a view to going and selling them in Standard over the next little while, and then buying some of the items that they can't necessarily normally afford in a temporary league with them, so that they can test those items out. With all of that said, I think you should expect some pretty wild price fluctuations in Sentinels that give Sentinel rewards, and also in Recombinators over the rest of the league, as well as a few other things. Anyway, that's all I got on this. May your Varlorbs have interesting results, and enjoy the rest of the Sentinel League.